She's coming out, right? Remember just a few weeks ago it was stay inside. The government's not doing enough to keep you inside. But this week it's different. This week it's different. We're going to learn a little bit more about why it's different and about some of the players in this new crisis, like Melinda Gates, who has done more work to sterilize and maim black Africans than almost any other person in the world. She just cares, right? Her husband, who says the African population explosion is the biggest problem that he's worried about on the planet. On the planet. Who was caught putting sterilants in happy, healthy medicine shots, happy, healthy, mandatory medicine shots that they were giving to women and sterilizing them. They had HCG in them. Crazy, right? So Melinda Gates, she just cares about black people, right? Just like Apple Music and the Fortune 100 and who else, right? Those all the record companies, MTV, they just care about black empowerment. Right? And that's why they spend their time pumping out music that glorifies criminality, drug use, sexual depravity, putting the pee-pee in the poo-poo, as Terrence McKenna would say. Even though MTV and all these record companies are pumping out this stuff that's just landing more and more black kids in prison, breaking up black families, with the culture that they market to the black community. No, they just want to help you by telling you to go out into the streets and fight for justice. They don't tell you how to fight for justice, right? They just say, go fight. Go cause a stir. But Melinda Gates, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, she just wants to help. She says, the video of George Floyd's brutal death broke my heart. I watched the protests that followed, and I felt overwhelmed with solidarity. And I'm listening as black advocates, and activists call on every American to treat racial justice as a shared responsibility. Racial justice. So their philanthropy, remember, Melinda Gates and Bill Gates' philanthropy, it revolves around their business interests. Right? They use their philanthropy as a shell game, just like Rockefeller Foundation showed them how to do. You had the Rockefeller Foundation, the Rockefeller Brothers Trust, several other Rockefeller Philanthropies or something like that, several other foundations started by the Rockefellers to hide their money and to keep it generational and to get around antitrust laws. She says, I don't have all the answers about how I can use my voice and my philanthropy to be a part of the solution. I will continue to deepen my understanding and to stand with people and organizations working towards a future centered on gender and racial equity. Equity, that's another banking term there, right? She says, Black Lives Matter. We cannot allow systemic racism to go unnamed and unchallenged. Above all, we cannot turn away. Right? This from the lady who, her and her husband are all about testing untested vaccines on African children. This is what they're all about. You guys remember contact tracing? Well, remember a week ago when you had to stay inside? Remember a week ago when the media wasn't telling you to go outside? You can go out now if it's for rioting, says the media, right? For justice. Remember when the media was saying you got to stay inside or you're being irresponsible and you're going to kill everybody? So yeah, remember a week ago when it was going to kill everybody if you go outside? Okay, well, there was this thing called contact tracing. The Rockefeller Foundation put out their suggestions on building a contact tracing army, an army of contact tracers, basically NKVD style, Stasi style snitch brigades of citizens on patrol, watching each other, snitching on each other. Ooh, Tristan sneezed. They had the Clinton Global Initiative talking with Gavin Newsom about contact tracing brigades in California. Well, now we have a new crisis, guys. The DEA has been granted sweeping authority to conduct covert surveillance on people protesting over George Floyd's death, a secret memo reveals. Whoa! Now they get to do contact tracing on the activists. A bunch of people that were hyped up into a frenzy by media to go and commit crimes now get to be contact traced. Is anybody surprised? And who's surprised? Right? Everybody was locked in their homes for how many months? Mandatory unemployment, small family businesses destroyed, told to wear masks. Told to wear masks. Told they must wear masks. Then the media whipped you up into a frenzy. We all got all hyped up and freaked out over something that, yeah, it was an awful thing, right? I saw the video, the George Floyd murder. Terrible. I've seen loads of other murders from police over the last few months. Those didn't trend. We're supposed to be surprised, right? When you get locked down, you get treated like prisoners. You get treated like lab rats in your home and told that you're not essential. This is what people were told. Right? Through this media campaign, they're told, if you're not an essential worker, you must stay home. They told us we are not essential. The same people who have been telling us there are too many people, Bill Gates, said that only the essentials can go to work. They socially engineered us into accepting being treated like prisoners, being treated like lab rats. And then these celebrities, these big corporations, and the media who just told you for 3 months, this is the new normal. Sad piano music. Dun, 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 dun. We're here with you. This is the new normal. Those same corporations are now saying, go. Take to the streets. Fight for justice. It's ridiculous. Barry Gardiner, right? Barry Gardiner, he's a blue check mark. So Gary Gardiner says, been social distancing since March. Today, I broke it to join the Black Lives Matter demo outside Parliament and take a knee with thousands of brave young people calling for justice. All right, so the symbol that they're using is your hands up, right? Showing that you're unarmed, showing that you're not a threat, showing that you're submissive. Putting your hands up in the air, it's like the police say, put your hands up to show that you're not armed. The fist in the air also shows that you're not armed. You don't have a weapon, you're not a threat. So fist up in the air, taking a knee, right? Bowing before Parliament. This is what these people are doing. This is the ritual that's going to help them get freedom, dudes. So they're bowing before Parliament, taking a knee together, screaming, take a knee. Screaming, take a knee. This is empowerment. So there you go. This is what these corporations are telling you to do. You're totally gonna beat the patriarchy by taking a knee. Small family businesses ravaged by lockdowns. You're told you're non-essential, right? You're given this nihilistic culture that tells you, YOLO, bro. Now you're told you're not essential, nobody needs you. Then what happens? And so the small family business is already destroyed. Amazon making more profit than ever. Jeff Bezos getting richer than ever. Bill Gates getting richer than ever. All these billionaires growing their fortunes. All, Walmart, Walgreens, these are all essential. Church, non-essential. And then you're told rioting is essential, right? And these mayors are saying, yes, that's fine to go out. No, it's not okay to go out and protest the lockdowns, but it's okay to go out now. Why is that? Why is that? Maybe, like with all these social justice movements, maybe this is being hijacked, directed, and steered. Maybe, definitely. You're locked down. You're told, here's the new normal. You're a prisoner in your own home, in your own communities. What else happens in prisons? What happens before lockdowns in prison? Lockdowns usually happen in prison before a riot. You think these lockdowns are going to be over? You don't think they're going to cheat? They're going to keep pushing this? We'll see. All right, so here they are, the BLM protest outside of Parliament, and what are they doing? They're taking a knee. Thousands of people kneeling before their government, showing that they're unarmed and that they're not a threat. Does this seem like fighting the system? So if BLM really cared, about their communities, if they really cared about empowering Black communities, maybe they would take a little bit different approach. How come you don't see BLM telling people how to keep their communities safe? How to self-police their communities within their constitutional rights? Why aren't they teaching people their rights? Why aren't they teaching you how to arm yourselves and protect your communities lawfully? Why are they not doing that? Why do they not teach them how to have good relationships with their police? Why do they not teach them to have relationships with their sheriff? Or maybe even run for sheriff. To teach people their rights. To teach people how to keep firearms. How to safely use firearms. And how to use these things legally. Why not? Instead of teaching people to protect and police their communities lawfully, BLM leadership teaches them to canvass red carpets on their streets for agitprop infiltrators and Antifa to destroy their communities and justify more military police state and unemployment. And also, they teach you how cool it is to put the pee-pee in the poo-poo. So they teach you all about, Pride Month, lesbian, Black trans woman Marsha P. Johnson started this. It's like, this is what they teach you. They don't teach you, here's how you protect your communities. Here's what you do if people are trying to infiltrate your movement and start violence and do illegal activities and bait you into getting arrested. They don't teach you how to stay out of jail. They don't teach you your rights. Why not? Isn't that what they should be doing? Isn't that what we should be doing in our communities? Policing ourselves by these NGO-funded fake revolutions. And what we're seeing now is very similar to the color revolutions that we saw in Europe and Eastern Europe, what we saw in Ukraine, what we saw in the Arab Spring. It's the same people funding it, and it's the same script. As you see here, the Otpor, Serbia 2000, the Georgia in 2003, uprising, revolution, funded by the same NGOs, scripted in the same way, using the same script. Right? If you want to learn a little bit more about this, right? But Manifest Destiny, this book, Democracy as Cognitive Dissonance. This book, very, very important for understanding the color revolutions, Otpor coups in Egypt, right? For this, the Arab Spring, which is directed using big tech, using Facebook, using the same techniques, what they call swarming, the swarming techniques, to confuse people, and celebrative, empty rhetoric fueled, peaceful protests is what they taught. In the US, it's being done a little bit differently now. And what you did see in a lot of these places like Syria is these protests becoming violent. The perpetrators of this violence often coming from other countries, coming from outside, and then justifying more clampdown. And then you relieve the pressure, you let off the release valve, and you bring in the new order. And this has been repeated over and over again. So that's why you got MPs, political leaders in the UK saying, oh, we're going to fight injustice in the UK. I don't understand this. But if you understand what's going on here, and that we're not seeing a genuine grassroots revolution, we're seeing a controlled meltdown of society to bring in a new order, then you'll understand a little bit better. But there is some funny shit going on here too.